I keep my goals to myself, cause whenever I share with folks, they get a look upon their face and their memory floats to a time where their goals and the stars.
What's good? We're going to get into Monday Night Raw from August the 10th, 2026. This was an okay episode of Raw, but it was mostly filler. Not really much happened. We have now begun the World Heavyweight Championship Tournament. The winner of that will face Roman Reigns live in Mexico City on September the 14th. So that's going to be fun. I actually did enjoy a couple of the matches on the show. I think the finals will come down to Rey Fenix and Penta, brother versus brother, which is great. And I think Penta will end up winning. So they're doing SmackDown, Raw, and AAA competitors in this thing, which is great. So that's cool. I like that. Really good stuff. Not really much happened on this show outside of that. And they're pushing heavy for Solo Sikoa being babyface, which to me is fine. The audience loves him. They love Solo. 2-3 years ago, people hated his guts, but now they love him because he is very charismatic. He is funny, and I do like Solo. Solo is okay. I just don't like him as a heel. I didn't. He was very one-dimensional, very boring, but the crowd loves him, and I think that's good. I do think they're probably going to end up doing the LA Knight Roman Reigns match at Money in the Bank. So Penta's going to be filler for Roman Reigns. I hate to say that because Penta's fucking awesome, but Penta's just going to be just filler for Roman. So, there's that. But Raw really was boring, though. It was okay, but mostly, boring. All right, so we kick the show off with Bloodline stuff. So my bad. Solo Sikoa is in the crowd. He's mocking the Usos theme. Solo says he asks if he's in the right place. Solo says he's now in the city. A Solo chant breaks out. Solo says that the Bloodline took out his boy, Royce Keys. Solo's here to handle some family business. Jey Uso shows up, gets a pretty good reaction. So Jey looks into the crowd. He asks where's Solo mocking him. The crowd wants Jey to run it back, but he doesn't. So Jey asks if you really want to do this, little brother. He's tired of Solo airing out their family laundry in front of the whole world to see. Jey says Solo knows how to fix this issue. The tribal chief called to play, so Jey needs Solo to fall in line. So Solo asked Jey, how did that work out, falling in line? Did Jey fall in line because it looks like he fell off? Solo says Jey was a world champion. Jey won the Royal Rumble and beat Gunther at WrestleMania. Every time the people heard his music, the kids were happy. The crowd signals for Jey to run it back. Solo says that's all out the window and says it sucks to be the Usos. It sucks to be Jey now. Solo already told him that he's not coming back to the family. Solo lives where he's at. As do the people of Virginia. So a massive pop happens when he says that. So Jey then cuts him off and says, man, shut your cocky, spoiled, disrespectful ass up, Solo. Jey says he raised him and he fed him. Jey changed his diapers. I'm like, damn, come on, Jey. Don't do your little bro like that, bro. That's fucked up. Don't say some shit like that. 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 That's wrong, bro. Don't embarrass that man like that. Don't do no shit like that, bro. Don't do no shit like that. That's wrong, bro. He said, the whole reason that Solo is here is because of the Usos. The reason that Solo has a big house and his family is set for life is because of the Bloodline. Solo thinks this is a game, but they'll handle this one way. The only way the family knows, that's going to be Jey versus Solo. And when Jey wins, Solo will fall in line. And Jey will deliver his ass first class to the tribal chief. And Jey says that's his warning shot. Solo pretends to duck the warning shot and checks on the people behind him. Solo says, tell him to calm down. He accepts. Solo says that when he beats Jey, Jey and this messed up family can leave him alone. And this is Jey's warning shot, Solo says. Pa-pow. And that was it. Yeah, this was kind of funny. It went on kind of long, but the crowd was really into this. Again, I am kind of digging the Solo babyface turn. It's interesting. I do like it because Solo was doing jack shit for like 2 years. He was a silent heavy in the Bloodline for the first 4 years of that story. He didn't really say much of anything. And now he's full of, he's vibrant. And I like it. It's kind of interesting. I do expect for Solo not to fall in line, which it makes sense. I do expect for him to try to help out LA Knight, attempt to win the World Heavyweight Championship at Money in the Bank. And I do think at Money in the Bank, that's where we'll end up seeing the debut of Zilla Fatu. Zilla lost, I forgot what championship he held in House of Glory, but he lost that this past weekend. And I'll reporting him to go to WWE, which we already knew anyway. So, there's that. So I do expect for Zilla to finally appear at Money in the Bank. And that would be great. Because this all is going to lead to War Games. That's where all this is going. So, yeah. But this was fun, I guess. Whatever. All right, moving on from that. This leads us into Michael Cole mentioning the World Heavyweight Championship tournament. The winner of that will face Roman Reigns in Mexico City on September 14th. So it's going to be a bunch of luchadors involved in this. So Penta, La Parka, Psycho Clown, Laredo Kid, Dragon Lee, Dr. Wagner Jr., Ray Phoenix, and El Fisca. So I like it. Interesting. Good stuff here. Moving on from that, this leads us into a video package by Penta. So Penta says the tournament means everything to him. Every match is a battle that takes him one step closer to his goal in Mexico City. He says he's an old rival of Laredo Kid, but he'll find out the luchador Penta has become. Laredo Kid says this is his moment. Nothing can stop him. Penta says he hopes Laredo Kid is ready for a war. Penta will win this tournament and will battle Roman Reigns with his people behind him because he's Cero Miero. All right, moving on from that. Good stuff there. Moving on from that, this leads us into main event Jey Uso. He's walking backstage when he finds Jimmy and Jacob. Fatu asks, what's he doing? Jey says he's trying to handle the Solo problem. Jacob says it sounds like Jey's running the play by himself and forgetting about them. Jey says he'll personally bring Solo back to the family, something Jacob couldn't do. And then Jacob warns Jey to bring Solo back, which he does. Okay, moving on from that. This leads us into the first match of the night, which was very, very good. Penta defeats Laredo Kid. He advances in the World Heavyweight Championship tournament. Very good match here. Loved it. Good stuff here. Laredo Kid is a fucking gem. I've liked him since his time in TNA. And TNA really misused him very, very badly. But he's doing pretty well in AAA. So I do like this. This match was fun. Penta ends up winning via the Mexican Destroyer. Earlier on in the match, Penta hit the Penta Driver and Laredo kicked out. So there's that. Again, I like this. Good stuff here. I do think that the finals will come down to brother versus brother, Rey Fenix versus Penta, and Penta will end up beating his little brother. Well, yeah, little brother. So, yeah. All right, moving on from that. This leads us into... Byron Saxton. He's backstage with the Vision. So Byron talks about the bad blood between the Vision and the Alpha Academy. Logan Paul says the Alpha Academy are losers. The only bad blood is all there's is blood pressure, which was kind of funny. Maxine Dupree puts over her boyfriend Austin Theory. Austin Theory says he's going to kick Akira Towswa. Give Akira Towswa the ass kicking he deserves. Austin Theory says he deserves Maxine Dupree. Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and Dupree, they walk off. So Bron Breaker is focused. He stays behind. Byron asks him if he wants to say something. Bron asks Byron Saxton what he thinks of Oba Femi. So Byron Saxton constantly says that he likes him. Bron asks Byron if he thinks Oba Femi is the future. Byron Saxton says that's what Brock Lesnar said. And Bron Breaker says that Byron Saxton sounds like Paul Heyman. And then that was the end of the segment. Okay, moving on from that. Austin Theory defeats Akira Towswa. I didn't really even care about the match. Didn't really pay attention. I was eating around that time anyway, so I didn't pay attention. Austin Theory wins via a forearm. Who gives a shit? Post-match, the Vision were going to beat up Akira Towswa. Bron Breaker was about to spear Akira Towswa. Oba Femi came out and got a good reaction, and then Bron and Oba had a brief little stare down, which was separated by officials, Adam Pearce, and security. So that's fine. So they are beginning to build Bron Breaker and Oba Femi. This is just going to be a side quest for Oba Femi, although it shouldn't be, because Bron's going to lose this anyway. The Vision should have been long fucking gone. Really and truthfully, all three guys have promised: Bron Breaker, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory. Again, Austin Theory should kind of be in the mid-card, hovering around the IC title picture. Logan Paul, you can kind of move him up to the upper mid-card, to the main event scene at least. Bron Breaker, kind of same thing. But we all know that shit's not going to happen, so it is what it is, man. What the fuck? But, I mean, this is fine. I can't wait for them to do promo battles, and I think that's going to be great when we finally get, these guys having a war of words. I wouldn't be shocked if Triple H ends up doing this match at Saturday Night's Main Event, which is going to take place on September the 8th. So I could see we get their first match there. But this is something that I think needs to be like at least a 2-month feud, 2 or 3 month feud. So hopefully that happens, but I doubt it. Moving on from that. This leads us into Rey Mysterio. He's backstage with Kathy Kelly. He is the AAA GM. So, Kathy Kelly wanted to get his thoughts on the match between Penta and Laredo Kid. Rey says that Roman will have his hands full when they get to Mexico City. So Dragon Lee shows up, and he thanks Rey for the opportunity. So Dirty Dominic Mysterio shows up. He's furious that he wasn't added in the tournament. Rey says he didn't think that Dominic needed another handout, which is how he got here in the first place. Dragon Lee tells Dom to have some respect. Dragon Lee will ask Adam Pearce for a match against Dominic. Dominic says he'll show him who the real king of the Luchadores is. Okay, that's fine, whatever. Who gets a damn. Moving on, this leads us into Stephanie Vacker. So, she cut the promo. She didn't really say much of anything. She's just glad to be back on Monday Night Raw and everything else and all that jazz. Again, we all know that English is not her first language at all. So, this was a really kind of messed up promo, basically. But it is what it is. She did the best that she could. She basically said she's going to go after the Judgment Day and everything else and take them out one by one, basically. She says they both know that the title belongs to Vacker. So Becky Lynch comes out, gets a good reaction. So Becky Lynch says that she wants the same thing as Stephanie Vacker. She puts over Stephanie Vacker and everything else and all that. Becky's basically disappointed about what Liv Morgan's been doing. She said that Liv Morgan's basically taking the title back to the mid-2000s, which is kind of true, but it is what it is. Becky Lynch doesn't know much about Stephanie Vacker. She's an enigma and very mysterious. She knows Stephanie Vacker has made a big impact on Raw in such a short time. Becky Lynch knows that's especially impressive since she's gone more often than she's here. And she knows that Stephanie Vacker has had a run of bad luck. It happens to the best of them. Becky Lynch wonders if the pressure crushes her, or if her body gives up so her mind doesn't have to. The title doesn't need any more bad luck. Becky isn't lucky, but she is good. And Stephanie Vacker can settle her score with Liv Morgan. Becky will cheer her on. But when it comes to the championship matches, that's her domain. Stephanie Vacker didn't deserve the title. The title deserves Becky Lynch. So I like that line. So Stephanie Vacker says she respectfully says she doesn't care. And then Stephanie warns Becky that if she gets in her way, she'll show her what La Primera is all about. So then Liv Morgan attacks Becky from behind and everything else. So Liv goes for the Oblivion, but Becky gets out of dodge. She ends up hitting a back exploder. So Stephanie Vacker runs into the ring trying to attack Liv. Liv gets out of dodge. And then Becky and Stephanie Vacker, they argue and come face to face again. So this is fine. I like this. They'll probably end up doing a number one contenders match. Probably at Saturday night's main event, although I wouldn't mind seeing this match at Money in the Bank, but that's a little bit too far down the line. But this is fine. I'm interested in seeing where this goes. This is some pretty good shit here, I guess. All right, moving on from that. This leads us into LA Knight. He has a... Well, no, actually, I'm sorry about that. Before we get into that, congrats to Bianca Belair and Montez Ford. So they now welcome their son into the world, Romeo. So that's cool. So good stuff there. I actually do like this. Great. Excellent. Love it. Congrats again to Bianca Belair and Montez Ford. Excellent stuff. They told us his full name, but I don't want to, get into that. I really wish they wouldn't have done that, but, it is what it is. It's WWE. It's PR all day, every day, so whatever. Moving on from that, this leads us into LA Knight. He's being interviewed by Kathy Kelly backstage. So LA says that Roman Reigns said his same old boring stuff. LA Knight says his watches say it all. Say it's his time. LA Knight mentions that he wants a tournament shot. Kathy Kelly says it's a AAA Luchador tournament. So Solo shows up, says that he's got an issue. But LA Knight says it was only for one night only. Solo says it's Knight versus the Bloodline. Solo wanted to at least warn him. So, there's that. That's fine. I actually like this. Moving on. Dragon Lee defeats Dominic Mysterio. Match was fine. We've seen it multiple times this year. I think like 4 or 5 times this year, on and off. So, match was solid. But Dom losing is not the right decision. It makes no sense. Again, Dom is a champion. And Dom has really complained about how he's being booked. I mean, he's being booked like a god in AAA, but then on the main roster, Monday Night Raw to be specific, he's being treated like shit. And it's not good. I fucking hate it. But Dragon Lee winning is fine, so it is what it is. Maybe at Saturday Night's main event, maybe they'll do Dominic Mysterio versus Dragon Lee for the AAA championship. Maybe that happens. I doubt it though, but who knows? Whatever. Moving on from that, this leads us into Big Cass. He ended up beating up Dragon Lee post-match. He got little to no reaction. Javon Evans came out to make the save, but Cass took him out too, and then that was it. So again, I don't understand why Big Cass is there. Again, Big Cass would have been better off in TNA, honestly. He would have been better off going back to TNA. He serves no purpose in WWE. It makes no sense. But whatever. That's what Triple H wants, so who gives a fuck? But whatever. Moving on from that. This leads us into Soruka. So she ended up having a backstage segment talking about she's got a partner to take on the Judgment Day, and then when she's done with the Judgment Day, after tonight, she's going to be moving back to getting what's hers, and that is the Women's Intercontinental Championship, which is fine. So then Danhausen showed up, wanted to be a partner and all that, and Soruka was like, no, she's already found her partner, so there's that. Whatever. Whatever. I don't care about this shit. Moving on, this leads us into LA Knight. Once again, he's, backstage. So LA Knight is arguing with Adam Pearce about not being included in the number one contenders tournament. So Adam Pearce says that they'll find a spot for him. So Diego Fatu confronts him, that being LA Knight, but he's under orders from Roman Reigns and not to touch LA Knight. So Jacob warns LA Knight to stop running his mouth or he'll take matters into his own hands. So Jacob Fatu called LA Knight a bitch and said that he's going to dog walk his bitch ass and stuff. So it was pretty good stuff there. So we're still building towards Jacob Fatu and LA Knight at some point. So whatever. Don't really care about that. Moving on. This leads us into Sol Ruka and her mystery partner, which ended up being Io Sky, defeating the Judgment Day, Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. So whatever, I don't care about this at all, so whatever, who gives a damn. Moving on, this leads us into Paul Heyman and Bron Breaker. They were backstage. So Bron Breaker asked Paul Heyman if he thinks that Oba Femi is the future of the WWE. Paul Heyman says he has great love and respect for Bron Breakker, both personally and professionally. Oh my God, please stop saying this bullshit. It sucks. Paul Heyman says that he respects Oba Femi because he did everything he said that he would do to Brock Lesnar. So he has to respect Oba Femi. So Braun asked the question again. Paul Heyman says he thinks Bron Breakker is starting to think Oba Femi is the future of the WWE, and that's the problem. Paul Heyman will keep respecting Oba Femi until Bron Breakker shows him why Oba Femi is not worthy of his respect. Bron Breakker says, okay, and then that was it. Okay, whatever, that's fine. So, whatever. Moving on. Rey Mysterio is stopped by Chad Gable backstage. He put over Penta. Chad Gable just wants to show respect and put the title on the line against Ray. So that's fine. So good stuff there. I like that. All right, cool. That should be fun. Moving on. So Ruka and Io Sky, they're backstage. So Lara Valkyria looks very psychotic and homeless. She shows up. She starts mouthing some words to Sol Ruka and all that jazz. And both of them have some words and all that. And so there's that. It doesn't matter. It seems like they're going to do a feud between Lyra and Sol Ruka, which is fine. That's good. I actually like that. Lyra basically wants to get back the women's IC championship, which is fine. So good stuff there, whatever. Moving on from that, main event of the evening, Jey Uso defeats Solo Sikoa. So Solo is going to go back to the Bloodline, which that should be fine, I guess. But I doubt it's going to happen. So I do expect for Solo to turn down the Bloodline next week because they are dead set on turning him babyface. He is babyface. And they're going to keep him like that. So we have not seen Seth Rollins in 2 weeks. Last week and this week. So 2 weeks. I do expect for Seth Rollins to show up next week. And I say that because I think that they're still going to have something with Rollins being involved with Roman Reigns. Right? I don't think that their thing is over with at all by a long shot. I expect for Seth Rollins to be a part of War Games. So I'm making a prediction now that at War Games it's going to be the Bloodline, Roman, Jimmy, Jay, Jacob, and Zilla Fatu versus Seth Rollins, Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, and 2 other people at some point in time to face the Bloodline at War Games. And I stick by that. So I do expect for them to do something of that sort at War Games. So that's what I do expect. So Raw was okay for the most part, but still kind of boring and bland. But it is what it is. But what did you guys think? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.